day. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say. But what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yay takes and thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight this thing and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal. Our ancestors stood tall, despite abuse. We got all the tools, so what's our excuse? It's time to show a face and take off the mask. It's something every yay, it's the podcast. 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 It's something every yay, it's the podcast.
What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode. It's Some Every Yay, the podcast. I'm your host, Danye F. Jones. Episode 44. Ain't God good? Ain't he good? Episode 44. Yeah, it's all good. Yo, I have a special show tonight. But like I always say, humbly, I think all my shows are special. So, those who know me, we got to get our little housekeeping things going on. Now, again, by now you should have already subscribed. Go to YouTube, Danye F. Jones. Just put Danye F. Jones. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Do all those things. Make sure you put Danye F. Jones. You put Danye Jones, you might see some bootleg Danye's. I'm the original. So you must put the Danye F. Jones. Also, you can follow me on IG. Coach_Jones32. Also on IG, Nicola_32. Definitely do that. Because why not? Also, TikTok, you can definitely follow me on TikTok at DFJ32. Where's that at? Where's that at? All right. Definitely follow me on TikTok, DFJ32. Also, y'all, I want y'all to check out my man, Kevin Marshall. Thursday nights, More Than a Coach podcast. He's on all social platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. He's on everything. Check him out. He's the coach. Said he retired, but I think he's getting back in the mix. And great guest. And him and his wife on Sunday night, the Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast about love, life, and relationships. They tell you they are not marriage counselors. They just tell you what they do to work and make things tight in their marriage. And you don't have to be married. If you're in a relationship, you're looking for a relationship, and it's an interactive show. They're always live. Follow them on YouTube, the Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast. And ladies, it's summertime now. I know y'all ready. Get out there, get outside. Y'all need to get y'all some gear. Get y'all some gear. So what I need y'all to do, there is a virtual mall y'all need to check out. Go to Love Jones Legacy, www.theparsimonian.com/Love Jones Mall. It's a virtual mall. It's a lot of stores in there, but check out Love Jones Legacy, though. A lot of great items for women. I mean, she got pantsuits, dresses, skirts, hats, purses, shoes, petite sizes. What you call it? Not what's the other one for petite? Our lovely, well-figured women. All sizes. Even got bed sheets, bras. I mean, jewelry. I mean, at a very, 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 very economical price. Where her motto is, you could pay more, but why should you? So definitely check them out. So we're going to save the preliminaries now. Going to get out of here. Like I said, it's a very, very special show. I have three awesome ladies on here today. School is out. And that's the name of this show today. School's out. I have three wonderful teachers on here. That's my profession. I have a very strong heart for educators. We're going to bring them on right now and stop all this yapping. All of them know, but they know I talk too much. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them on.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, look, let me turn sideways. I feel like I got the weird screen.
Okay, you all right? Okay. It's all good. Ladies, how y'all doing this evening?
Good.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yes, I am absolutely great today. Great. Now, these lovely young ladies here, we have Miss Haley, Miss Pope, Miss Torado. I'm gonna keep it teacher-like. I know all of them, I know all of them, but I'm definitely gonna keep it very, very teacher-like. But these are some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful teachers, and we're gonna get this thing started. So, first of all, thank y'all for coming on. It's summertime. I know y'all. It's a nice day. I know y'all be outside. I know this crew. They be outside. Y'all could be out there killing with y'all umbrella drinks, kicking it with y'all people, spending time with your kids. So I appreciate this time. So like the preacher say, I won't be before you long. So I would try not to. So, okay, first of all, are any of you guys doing summer school?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Vicky said no. Okay. So yes, definitely. Thank you again for joining us. We're gonna jump right in there. So, how long have you all been teaching? We can do this popcorn style.
Okay, this is my 11th year.
Okay.
This is my third year.
Okay.
This is my third official year.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Her third official year, but probably about 13,
10 years.
14.
Hey.
Okay, yeah.
It counts.
Yes. Yes. She been in the mix for a minute. Okay, I just want to make sure I made that clear.
Yeah.
So, okay, all of you, first I want to ask, why did you decide to become a teacher?
I'll go first. So one, just starting off, I wanted to make a really big impact on kids that look like me, specifically in minority communities. I just knew growing up, I only had a few teachers that actually looked like me. Most of them did not look like me. So I felt like that was first and foremost most important. And then just being an advocate. I like helping people. I love kids. As I don't know, want me to call you Yay like on your show? I call him Deacon Jones.
Hey, you
He
can call me
knows that
whatever.
okay. Since I was a kid, like I was always helping with other people's kids. I was in a church nursery once I was of age to work in it. So I've always loved kids. And then also just like family reasons. A lot of people in my family were teachers. My grandmother, some of my great aunts, cousins. So, and then like people that are influential around me within like my community and church. So that was another avenue as to why I wanted to become a teacher. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I have a passion for children. I had this one special teacher I'll never forget, Susan Hardison. When I was in like fifth grade, I struggled with math really, really bad. But she was that teacher that took me under her wings and made sure that I understood the foundation for math. And I was like, I wanted to be that person for children because I know a lot of children do not understand the concept of math. So I wanted to make sure that I brought them those aha moments and allowed that light bulb to come on and just to have an impact on them, not just academically, but I wanted to be the one to give them the hugs and the high fives that they didn't usually get at home.
Nice.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to both of those. For me, it was honestly, I didn't really understand a lot of concepts and school didn't come easy to me, but my siblings, it came super quick. But one thing I was always able to do is once I finally got the concept is I was always able to explain it to others. And everybody always told me, you're going to be a teacher. And I'm like, nope. And here I am. And then I definitely never thought I'd be a special ed teacher. But then after teaching gen ed, I just kind of went that route too. And I've always just enjoyed like being able to break it down and help students realize like, just because you don't get it, you're not dumb. We just got to break it down differently. You're good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's go here. It's a word y'all hear all the time, a word y'all probably can't stand to hear. Let's jump right into it. Data, 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 data. We hear data,
You're
data,
killing
data,
me.
data,
My
data.
God.
Right.
Every everything is about data. So my question, totally, is all your teaching driven by data?
Not for me.
uh, yeah, no,
Not at all.
Not all of it.
Like
Mm-mm.
data doesn't
not
give
all
the
of it.
whole. It doesn't give the whole picture. It
Hmm.
only
Hmm.
provides like a
Hmm.
quick snapshot of what they're able
Mhm.
to do at that point, and it doesn't capture the times where they're frustrated or they're having a bad day and they don't understand or can't get over whatever struggle they were going through. So some of it is data driven, but a lot of it is not.
Yeah, likewise. I know that data is going to be taken, so I do take that into account. And I try to expose kids to things, especially when the curriculum is not always up to par, but what's going to be on standardized tests. I try to expose my kids to that so they can do better, and succeed. But I don't teach to be like the top teacher with data. I no. And then also, I feel like it's more than data because standardized tests were not made for African American nor minority students. They were made for white, middle class, or higher class students. So when you put it into that perspective, just even with cultural capital, they don't even know half of the stuff that is exposed to them on the test, like the words and those different things. So it's just like that's not necessarily a reflection of their ability, it's a reflection of their outcome in their environment. So I feel like to just base everything on data doesn't even make sense. It's not feasible, but they make it that way somehow.
Yeah, I agree. And so many of my students too just think, their data might suggest that they're extremely low, but they're just not good test takers. So
Yeah.
how am I going
Yeah.
to teach them a lower level and then they're actually, yeah, I'm a bad test taker. That's how I know.
I hate this. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
ask about my teacher test taking data, Mr. Jones, because
okay. No, I will. I will not do that. No, that's interesting. So, well, let me ask you this. Um, Ms. Haley kind of said it. Like I said, it doesn't tell the whole story, give the whole picture. So, my question is: do you think students are over tested? Are they testing too much?
I feel like it depends on what grade. So, like for me, I'm second grade. So they only have it for we have map testing. So they do it fall, winter, spring, and then we use iReady curriculum. So they do those like diagnostics in between. So for me, I don't feel like it's necessarily too much. Because I feel like it kind of tracks where they are and you can see the progression of it. But I would say I don't know about like upper grades, how much, because I be hands off. I'm like, I don't have I ready. I don't have none of those like well, IAR, sorry. That's what I meant. And all those different ones. I'm just really math and reading. Those are like the main focus for them. So it's not too much in my opinion right now. But overall, probably.
I would say yes. Overall, I am middle school, so it's a lot. It's a lot. I've seen students cry. I've seen students break down and complain about the testing amount. It's a lot on them. I say on the teacher as well for us to have to make sure that they're getting all the concepts that's needed, making sure that they're quote unquote ready for it because it just seems like there's never enough time in the day for all the preparation that's needed for these tests. So overall, it's a lot of tests.
I agree. I was middle school last year. Definitely way too much testing.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because a lot of times, particularly, I know, like you said, middle school. When I tell people, if you can teach middle school, you can teach any grade.
I
You
agree.
can you can teach any grade. I think that's like the some people are just gifted in primary, and everybody can't teach primary. Everybody can't, and like everybody in high school. Like I said, I'm certified K through 12, but I always did like start off 7 through 12. When I first came to elementary, when I had like pre-K and kindergarten, I'm not lying. The first 2 weeks, the kindergarten won. Listen, and I said, you know what? I got up early. I said, nah, this is over with. Nah, I said, no, I can't believe I am getting punked by these babies. So now, but it's all good now. Okay, so let me ask you this: in terms of co-teaching and collaboration, how do you adjust working with your fellow teachers who may not share your teaching style or share your philosophy of teaching?
Ooh, I can go first. So this year, I mainly did inclusion. So I co-taught with another gen ed teacher, and I've done it plenty of years before, but each classroom, like some teachers, I understand when I was gen ed, it's so hard to let go of that control. I get it. And some teachers will just be like, can you get my copies for me? Or can you sit with your group in the corner? And then others will just be like, hey, jump in. And others are like, why do you want to jump in? And I personally like to co-teach and teach to the whole class because I feel like my DL babies learn more when they see their gen ed peers also learning from me, but not all teachers have that. So sometimes I have to just be extra nice and like, come on, just trust me. I got this. Just let me answer some homework. I could do this. And then some, they're just really against it. You just got to kind of respect it and hope for the best.
You want to go next or me?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, collaboration is really, really big. Taking a couple of minutes before class or even after class for us to collaborate. My gen ed teacher is bomb. She allows me to take over because she knows that I have certain skills that she doesn't have. She's a vet teacher, but I come in with some new techniques and skills that she allows me to take over. But just allowing us going back and forth and giving what our skill set is. And with that, it's just like amazing. But without the collaboration, I don't even know how we'll make it.
Nice. Well, for me, I am general education. So I'm by myself. I do collaborate with the SPED teacher. Oh, LOL, yep. But she's not in my classroom with me. She pulls the students out. And then we do have an English language arts learners ELL teacher that she'll sometimes like come and grab the kids, but normally it's just me with my kids. So I really collaborate with my team. So that is very important to me. We really, especially this year, we meet like in the hallway in the copy room. We talk constantly. We're like, hey, where are you for this? Do you need this? How did your kids do on this? Blah blah blah. Like we try to feed and make sure that we're on the same page. And then where one is stronger and one is a little bit weaker, we collaborate and we go, hey, this might work, or we give each other suggestions. So we're pretty open with each other. And I'm grateful for my team because it could go left and I could have people that don't really get with me. But for the most part, I've had most experiences where people are like, okay, let's figure this out together. Even if we have like different little nuances, it's like we're not combative with each other. My first year, there were some people like I joined the SIP team. That's the school improvement team. If you don't know what that means, viewers. And the MTSS team, so multi-tier support system team, and some of the vets, because I was a newer one coming in, like I would have something to say and it would just be like, who was this girl talking? And it would just be like, I'm sorry. I do understand some things. Like, yes, y'all got y'all, stuff in the bag. I've been teaching since I was a kid. But it's like I also bring things to the table. So that was interesting coming in my first year and having those type of things and comments said. But if you know me, I personally be like, if you're not gonna say it to my face, I really don't give a care. But we made it through.
Okay, good. You kind of parlay that to something else. Let me ask you this. I like that. Now something, and I'm glad you did this, Vicky, because I was about to say, as teachers, we talk in all these terms. You said MTSS, earlier you was the IRA, the IAR, SIP team. Thank you. So when you do, try to let our people know what those terms are. Of course, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, right. That is awesome. That is awesome. You know, that's this like some G14 classified stuff here. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. All right. So with the amount of kids that we service with various backgrounds, abilities, and whatnot, do you feel differentiated instruction is just par for the course? It's not just a term. It is pretty much what we do, period, now. Because we getting so many different, you know, we use that word differentiated instruction, but that's just pretty much what teachers do anyway. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I have a kid. Well, I have one kid that didn't know how to read, and then I have a kid that's at a third and fourth grade level with reading. There's kids that still don't are still using their fingers, trying to figure out how to even count to 10, and you got 10 fingers. And I got ones that are ready for multiplication. So I'm constantly finding different ways to relay second grade curriculum to all levels. So I don't feel like it's necessarily like a separate thing that you have to do. It's like if you care about what you're teaching and you care about your kids, you're gonna figure out a way to try to relay it as best as you can. You may not get every single one of them, but you're gonna try different ways. You're gonna try different strategies. You're gonna fail. You're gonna find some that work. It's gonna be different each year, but differentiation is very, very important. Because if you don't, it one just behavior wise, the kids that don't get it, they're gonna start either they're gonna zone out or they're gonna act up. Then the kids that do get it, both ways. So you have to find like a middleman. And sometimes I use like my higher kids towards like the mid in year to help some of my kids that were a little bit below it, because it was just like, okay, I need for you to be doing something productive instead of distracting somebody next to you. So I think that that's like a really huge component, especially like within, I don't know, I haven't taught middle school, even though people want me to, and I'm like, no. But for sure with the early on grades, because the foundational skills, it's definitely widespread in the classroom.
I agree with you, Victoria. Differentiated skills and instruction is just something that we do as teachers without even being told to do it, because we have such a wide range of learning abilities and capabilities and disabilities in the classroom that this is like a norm for us. So I am middle school, but yet I still have kids that do not have the foundational skills that they need. Like some get stuck counting when they get to 30, they forget to go 31, 32, or however that may be, or I have some that can't even read, you understand? So as the educator, I have to find different ways to implement things for them. Though I'm told that I have to stay on grade level, so I do expose them to grade level material. But then there's times where I have to step back and maybe take something from a second grade level to emphasize what I'm teaching. For instance, if I'm doing multiplication and they don't understand multiplication, I have to go back and show them as repeated addition. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. So using different manipulatives and different strategies to emphasize what we supposed to teach. It's different. It's different, and for some, it's a lot of work because you have to go outside of the box. You have to think outside of the box sometimes because we understand that no two children learn the same way. So I may be able to use manipulatives for one. I may just be able to read to another one. Visuals, it's different, but it's all worthwhile in the long way.
Absolutely.
Well, Victoria, if you want to come on over to middle school, we welcome you with open arms.
Thank you, though.
No, I definitely, even I feel like as teachers, even though we'll have a curriculum laid out, like this is for lower level learners, this is for your average and above average, it's laid out, but it still doesn't differentiate quite enough. So we're still constantly just in that mode where we're like, okay, how do we challenge the high babies? And then how do we teach our seventh graders that don't know how to read, but don't insult them by giving them little brown fox? You know what I mean? So I think we're also like socially aware, but also trying to like, come on, like move it as quick as we can to get them to somewhere close to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, listen, I got some teachers up in this piece. That's what I'm talking about. And also, see, I did not want, although I am a vet teacher, I didn't want people who had as many years that I had. That's what I did not want, because I know we are in a new age of teaching, and I wanted teachers who really, really can relate. Even though I'm still like a big kid, I can relate to these young suckers too. But I just wanted. So this is awesome. Okay, I want to show y'all something really, really cool.
This probably isn't what comes to mind when you think of an average school. Kids breathing fire, climbing a rock wall, and even learning the art of grilling. But for students at the Alpha School in Austin, Texas, this is no field day. Here, K through 12th graders are proudly cutting classes, spending just 2 hours a day learning math, science, reading, and writing, all with the help of an AI tutor and without a single teacher.
Morning launch time.
Mackenzie Price is the co-founder of Alpha School and its 2-hour learning program.
This is a school without teachers.
We have no teachers at our schools. Can you believe that?
The Educators are a suite of AI-powered apps that gamify lessons, monitor progress, and with the help of eye tracking, keep tabs on students' attention span.
Who's teaching you?
I think the app is teaching me, but I'm also teaching myself.
Hold up.
All as adult guides, many of which have never been teachers, look on without interfering with their robot counterparts.
Are you comfortable having guides in the classroom that don't necessarily know the core curriculum?
It's okay that our guides aren't experts in physics or math or whatever they're doing. They are experts in their students.
It almost sounds like the guides here are told, you're here to lead the kids to AI.
Our guides are not allowed to teach. They are coaching students to become self-driven learners.
Price says the AI tutor personalizes lessons for each student, allowing them to learn class material in half the time. And according to data from Alpha, score in the 90th percentile on standardized tests in most grade levels.
This one's a little unusual.
It all comes as students nationwide grapple with AI's role. While some critics say it's too soon to know if the tech's having a positive effect in classrooms, one study found generative AI tutors can sometimes...
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, a couple things. Okay, let's unpack this. First of all, how do y'all feel about what y'all saw? Your honest opinion.
I think there's
nothing is political on my show. Speak.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
I know you, and say, yeah, I know you.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Look, I just had to think about it first.
I don't know why you're being so polite.
Oh yeah. Okay, look. Pros, I feel like it's kind of similar to what they already are doing with curriculums. Like already has personalized, that's a math curriculum. Already has personalized lessons to where the kids are. So they take the diagnostics, they see where they're at, and then they cater lessons towards them. So it's kind of like that part is cool. I think that it's helpful. Do I think that it should supplement or take our place? No. I think that it's a great tutor. I think when parents can't always take their kids somewhere, it's like, okay, if you have the technology, or if you can go to the library or advocate for those, absolutely. And get your kid exposed to something like that. I think it's fine, because we're already moving into a technology world. So it's like, I would rather kids be on technology and learning something than be on YouTube and TikTok and all of that type of stuff. But then like cons, it takes away like the social emotional, the interaction, the authority to child, the adult, like, because if some of these parents ain't doing what parenting is, so we're parenting, so that part is being missed. And then also like just hearing a voice and saying like good job, or hey, here's what I can help you, or having something being read to you and it's like personable, because some kids don't do well with technology or thrive with just being able to do stuff on their own, they get really distracted or they click out. Like I had one kid, every time I put him on a computer, he clicked off what he was supposed to be on and was on YouTube. I had to lock his computer every single time. Stuff like that, it would just have to be like, you would have to lock that kid in and you have to strap them down. Like that to me is too much. So I think there has to be a balance. I would use that more of like a tutorized, and it sounded like they said it was only for 2 hours. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But the whole day, absolutely not. That's just me.
I agree. I think I will use that more as an enhancer. You can't take away a teacher. Like there's different things that we bring to the classroom besides teaching, as Victoria said. So using that AI will be as just enhancer to enhance whatever I've taught to the students if they haven't gotten it. Sometimes they learn differently from different people, hearing it differently. So I would use that. I do love the way that they use PBI, project-based instruction, hands-on. So that is really good because a lot of students need to learn by touching and feeling. So that is a great point that I will definitely keep.
For sure. It kind of reminded me of like Montessori for like pre-K, but it's like an advanced version for the older kids.
Kids. I agree.
Yeah, I think it would be like a good idea also like an extended school day thing, or maybe like before I teach the lesson, try to work through it like the night before. I don't know, but definitely not replacing a teacher. Maybe possibly like a specials class, but you still probably need a teacher there because when there's that many kids,
right,
you just can't. So yeah, before or after school.
Yeah, it's interesting because watching the whole thing, they do that, but then they branch off what they're doing because a couple kids there have create an Airbnb. They're showing a lot of life skill stuff, which I think all those is cool. It's an interesting video, but like I said, I still need to be a supplement though, because like you said, because teachers do way more than teach. Another thing, that particular school is 40 G's a year.
Oh.
Well, so yes,
absolutely.
And so listen, now see this is the thing about it though. They're talking about they're scoring to 90%. Okay, if your parents can pay $40,000 a year, chances are you've been exposed to a whole lot. So obviously, you're great. So they miss me with that.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Okay, because I know some schools bring that in there. You're gonna have to have some teachers, some real teachers that's gonna say no. Get some checking teachers. So
yes.
That component that we do, like you said, a child might just need to see you smile at them. A child might need that hug. Some child may say, once you have developed a relationship, sit your goofy tail down. But see, you have built that equity with them, so they would receive that. So I just thought that was very, very interesting. Obviously, you guys, like you said, you actually answered the next question. You do use AI in certain things already anyway, but definitely not to take the teacher. Now, parents. Okay, y'all know parents today are a tad bit different. And hey, listen, a tad bit different. Some of them,
that's an understatement.
Yeah, and more of them becoming younger and younger and younger, and they may not share your value a lot of times, and your moral compass on a lot of things. So, which is a fact. So, how have those situations, those dynamics changed the way you actually teach?
I'd say this, it don't change the way I teach because you're not coming into my class unless you coming to do what I'm doing. Baby, you ain't got no influence, no nothing about what I got going on up in here. So that's the first and foremost. You're not gonna tell me how I'm gonna teach a kid. Now, you can take your child out my room. That's between you and whoever. But you're not gonna tell me how to run my classroom. But do you mean like just parent interactions overall?
Well, parents interactions and just because we have some parents who are supportive, some that's not.
Right.
And you have some parents that by where the kids have seen and doing some things that they have seen at home. But we still have to be loving, going back to that piece, how we have to be more than a teacher. So basically, how do you deal with all those dynamics? Still focus on the main reason why you are there to teach them.
I'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's
I
a
know it's a
TED
loaded.
talk right there.
I know that was a loaded question.
That's a
Yeah.
TED talk right there. So for my supportive parents, thank you. Like, we appreciate you. It's a teamwork. It's you show up for things. You don't do too much about things. It's just like those parents I genuinely appreciate. So this is not for y'all. The ones that do not, but then have everything to say under the sun about what you have going on or whatever, they try to jump in. Like, I had one parent my first year. She tried to, play her little 1-2 because her mom was a teacher, but her son needed special education services, and she tried to play me like, oh, you're not doing enough, or my son comes home crying every day, that and the third. And I'm like, I asked him, I said, do you go home, do you cry, do you not want to come to school? No, I like being in school. He smiles, we hug, we do all that stuff. So she was trying to get him switched out of my class. She just was so upset because I recognized that, hey, your baby is struggling and let's help him. In denial, too much. And we were in a IEP meeting, and it was just like, at this point, hey, like, this is what's going on. And she was like, so basically you're telling me he doesn't know how to spell? Yes. You coach him on a spelling test? Yes, he's able to spell those words for the week properly, but let that week pass on. That baby don't know how to spell it. I'm trying to advocate for your son, and what you're doing is undoing that. Now we finally got to a common ground, and when I see her, we can speak and all that stuff. But it that to me just didn't make sense. But I understand that I'm not a parent yet, so it's like I get that there's the form of like denial, and you don't want to necessarily deal with um the potential that your child might have a learning disability. But I just feel like advocate and know that it's okay for your child to have an IEP and get stuff done early, because it doesn't mean that they're always going to need one. It's early intervention. And I think that when parents aren't on board, or I mean, granted, have your discernment about the teacher, because not all teachers are really looking out for the kid, but it's just like, make sure that you're paying attention and listening and looking out yourselves. And then for like the ones that are just not involved, they have, some of them have their reasons, and I respect it. But I just feel like sometimes it's the ones that are not involved but then try to come and tell you about you in your classroom. That's where I be like, yeah, go ahead and log off my dojo. I just really want to block you right now because I'm the right one. So I be having to show my principal. I'll be like, look, such. She'd be like, don't respond. I'm like, okay. But yes, that's my little synopsis. But yeah.
For me, it's I kind of built a rapport with a lot of the students wherever I'm located. And building that rapport with them transfers to the parents a lot of the times, where they're like, "Oh, Miss Haley, she's so loving, she's this, she's that." So when the parents come to meet me, then it's like, "Oh, my child has told me so much about you." So I guess they take word for what their child says. I also recognize that a lot of parents do not know how to advocate for their children. So that makes them combative, that makes them defensive. So me teaching them things that they should know, though we think they should know, the misconceptions, on how to advocate for their children the correct way, and showing them things, they actually take my advice and listen to me. A lot of the times I have these parents that are very supportive, will bring me anything I ask for. But out the bunch, you're always going to get that one parent. It's always one that just doesn't think I know what I'm talking about. So I literally have to kind of teach them, in a sense. Teach them that I know. So it's like I'm teaching the student and I'm teaching the parent, that I know what I'm doing. I'm not really taking the time to prove to them, but I have to teach them the skills because a lot of them lack it. Like you said, a lot of the parents are younger and younger, so they don't know a lot of the things already. So now I'm taking moments to have parent-teacher meetings, and I'm telling them, this is how this is done, and this is how you can do this. So I'm giving strategies on how to do things that I implement in the classroom. And that way we become one team, so the children don't see us on opposite teams, and then they feel like they can play the field like, our parents to children do their parents. So when I get that ground broken with the parents, and it becomes a whole lot easier for communication, for support, and whatever else is needed.
Yes, I definitely find with parent interactions, there's almost always like a misunderstanding. Almost always like, the kids just being kids, like maybe they not even that they're lying. I mean, sometimes they do that too, but sometimes they perceive it one way and then they tell their parents, and then mom goes into mama bear mode. And I understand, but usually I'll just try to work through the kid honestly and be like, hey, like, why'd you say I was yelling? I'm animated, I talk loud. Like, do you want me to be boring and not teach like that? And then that's when it kind of like, usually when the parents will hear it from me and it's reinforced with the kid, I feel like usually we can kind of get to a common ground too. So that's usually my take, but they're definitely getting a little more challenging these days. So.
Yeah, that's right. What you're saying, Vicky, like you're going to do your classroom when you do it. Because like my motto is, I don't negotiate with children and I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't. Hey, and a lot of times they're one and the same. So, but as you said, Ms. Haley, in terms of sometimes parents don't know how to advocate for their children, they become combative. A lot of times, when they were students themselves, they had a rough way to go, and they carry those traumas into. They say, yeah, this teacher, Ms. Haley, remind me of Miss Jackson, and you know what I'm saying. So, and I understand that, but I will say this, I've said it before, during the pandemic, one thing that was great for the pandemic, when those kids had to be with their parents every day. Lord have mercy. When I say that was my personal gag reel, I was watching video, I was eating my popcorn, just loving it. This one lady, she went outside on the patio doing this, rolling her blunt. She lit that blunt, said, look at, blew that smoke out. Listen, those teachers wasn't lying on my baby. She said this little sucker bad as hell. She was like, he don't listen. If I turn my back after the work, he ain't doing the work. He was going to say, listen, teachers, I'm sorry for the teachers that I've cussed out. I'm sorry. I'm signing up for every PTA. It just was awesome. It was awesome. So, and I was like you said, you don't say no, not my child. And those, like I said, we all have challenging kids. And for those parents who don't want to acknowledge that their kids need help, and like you said, Ms. Tirado, to tell those kids, hey, we all learn at different spaces. And because we all got stories of children who was perceived as had grew up to do outstanding things.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what's up. Now, obviously, as teachers, we're always under the microscope, not really respected as teachers used to be. And now with all the different laws and the responsibilities being mandated for teachers from people who've never been in the classroom.
Hello.
So I mean, how do you navigate through that foolishness? Not necessarily you're trying to break any laws, but certain things like, I'm not doing that. That don't even make sense. They don't understand this child. They can't do this. And I'm not necessarily talking about academically. Like you spoke earlier about SEL, social emotional learning, because sometimes you can't, if a kid hungry or been up all night watching their infant sister, they're not thinking about what 6 + 6, no Pythagorean theorem. They're not listening. So with all the different things being thrown at teachers, and it's a new thing every year, just with a different name, they don't pay somebody to come in all this money to talk about something that you already know. So I know that's a whole lot. So how do you say, I hear you, but I'm gonna keep doing it this way? Of course, you're gonna do the thing that's mandated, but how do you kind of juggle that? Again, another loaded one, but that's what I do.
I can do the behavior. Sorry, go ahead. I've been going, go.
So I just feel like earlier when Victoria referenced she was newer coming onto a team, and the veteran teachers were like, what does she know? But probably she knew a lot more with how times are changing. I sometimes feel like that's the case. They've just been out of touch for a while. I if I'm feeling a little spicy, maybe I'll just like question them with like the realistic questions like, oh, okay, like how would you handle that? Or can you model it? But then most of the time I'm just kind of like, I got some papers to grade. I'll do it because it's required, but most kids, you got to reach them emotionally, socially first. And you got to even be careful with that because you don't want to be labeled like, oh, why does she care so much? Like something going on? Is she like, you know, is she a pedophile? Like you got to even be careful then just by being like a person, even with hugging, you just got to be like overly careful almost. So to me, I just kind of like laugh it off now, but, maybe I'm a little spicier than I used to be. So sometimes I'll ask more questions or challenge a little more, but just to kind of like put that in their mind. Like we're not dumb. We are educators. We know a lot more than you think. So
As you should.
Yes. I don't know. So they came with all these different policies and telling us we couldn't do this and need to do that. But the one that stuck out to me the most was the grooming, and making sure you're not hugging and high-fiving. And I hear that, right? I hear it. But I also know where I'm teaching. I'm teaching in an urban area, right? I know these babies don't get love on a daily basis. You understand? I've had parents come in, students come in the morning. It's like, my mom just cussed me out from home to here. Da, da, da. So at that moment, my mommy mode kicks in. Come here, let me give you a hug, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay. I have to reassure them. I know that they tell me I'm not supposed to hug them and all this stuff, but I know like this is what they need, and they look forward to it. You know, I've had students say, Miss Haley, my mom don't even hug me like that, or my mama called me this, and I'm like, She say, are you gonna call me that? I said, no, baby, I love you. I tell them I love you. Because they need to hear those things. They need to know that it's okay to be loved. They need to know it's okay to be hugged. That even your day started out this way doesn't mean it have to end that way. So I tread the lines a whole lot of the times, and I just take it. I mean, hey, it comes with the territory.
No, for sure. And I guess for me, it's a little bit less, but they definitely still tell us like you're not supposed to hold the kids or hug kids, do too much. But I do like the different like hellos and stuff, high five, fist bump, shake up, hug, whatever. So I try to be that like in that realm, and I'm also the person that's like, please don't touch me. I hate when kids come up and touch me randomly. So I be like, look, we ain't gotta worry about that. You ain't gotta worry about that for me. But another thing that like I feel like that is I get why it's kind of in place, but I feel like you have to make sure that that's still there for kids because a lot of kids need it regardless of if they say it or if they don't. It's like sometimes they watch other kids and they're like, oh, I wish I could, but they don't speak up, and eventually they get to that point where they warm up. So I think that that's one of the bigger ones. Another thing for me was, which I get it in a way, but some parts I don't. MTSS, or no, PBIS. So like, what is it? Project behavior instruction, whatever. Positive behavior as you look. Okay, it's about behavior. And it's like, oh, we got to give rewards and no consequences, and everything has to be. It's like who you can't take their recess. I tell you right now, I will. I go against the grain on that. Because what do I have? They don't have detention. They barely get in school. You call their parents, they don't care about that. They come back to school, they act however they want to act. They talk to you however they want to talk to you. And I deal with 7 to 8 year olds, and they think that they grown. So it's just like I can't imagine what middle school and high school and junior high is like. So it's just like that to me. I'm good with giving positive behaviors, like incentive things sometimes, but I feel like now we're moving into a world where if you do the right thing, you need to be rewarded. No, you need to do the right thing because you're supposed to do the right thing. It's none of that. Like I didn't get a cookie every time I did the right thing. Like if you don't go sit yourself down somewhere and do what I said do when I said do it, like I'm not telling you to do anything that's not harmful, not doing anything that's making you unsafe. All that, like, come on now, don't nobody have time for that. So it's like the kids know, they literally tell you, you can't do nothing to me. You can't take this from me. My mom said da 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 da. It's like, who? So I definitely go. I'm the tough love type of teacher. It takes them a second, but it be like I try to be loving, but it's like, look, we gotta find structure for y'all. Then we could be hee ha ha. But nah, like that to me, especially early on, because it's getting way too early where the kids are getting too disrespectful, and it's like we spend all day with these kids, and you're telling me I have no form of discipline, nothing that I can do technically. Like that to me is wah wah. Like I can see the principles of like, okay, think about where the behavior stems from. Absolutely. Is it trauma? Is it because they didn't get any sleep? Is it because they don't eat? Is it because I will do that. The assessment of that, I'm fine with that. But there still needs to be, excuse me, some form of consequences for kids. I just don't see it going in an upward trajectory if we keep handing these kids, here's a piece of candy for this, here's a paw for this, here's everything. Like, congratulations for doing the right thing. That's about all you're gonna get from me. And then it might just be a all right, thank you, and I move on. Like that to me is beyond me. Beyond me.
I agree with you. Children have gotten to the point where they think they're supposed to be rewarded for every good thing. And in
Everything.
my
Yeah.
class, I'm like, no, that's not how it works. This is not how the real world works. When you go out there and you do something good, you do something good. They don't give you a prize every time. So I have to literally recondition them. And it's like,
Yes.
oh no, you're so, oh, Miss Hayes, what I get for getting 100 on my test? A good job. Keep up the
Hello.
good work. Because this is your job. This is what you're required to do. So no, I'm not gonna give you candy. I'm not gonna give you a gift card. I'm not. I'm gonna tell you good job and keep up the good work. And we just got to get them out the mind frame of they're always gonna get a reward for something. That's not real life.
Yeah, because they get exposed to stuff already too quickly.
Too
So
quick.
then it comes, that's outside of school. Then you come to school and you're thinking like this. And then it's like
Yeah,
most times, any reward stuff is coming out of my pocket. The
that
school
part.
ain't paying me to do this. I'm not required
Come
to do
on.
anything. So any
Yep.
party, any candy, any treat, any whatever you get, that's
Yep.
my money, honey. Like, and let me tell you, I give it when I want it. I had to tell parents I had a treasure chest. And I had a couple parents try to get mad at me because their kid didn't get something. I said, well, check your child's behavior points and just let you know, I'm not required to do any of this.
Right,
I'm paying
absolutely.
for it with my own money.
That
So
part.
unless
Absolutely.
you gonna bring something up in here for Billy Bob Joe to act up to get something from your money,
Mm-hmm.
she ain't getting it.
Yep.
Right.
Simple.
Yeah, that's and outside of even schools, like I said, we're rewarding children for all type of things. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all from Illinois, I'm not from Illinois. I'm up from Michigan. Sag nasty, stand up. Sag no, so Michigan. So when I got here, see, we didn't have 8th grade graduations. Did not. You 8th grade, eighth grade, you supposed to go to the 9th grade. So when I got to what? So it got to, I was like, to me, that was tripped out. I've adjusted to it. But I think like you said, we have so many kids have so many different backgrounds. They think they reward, like I said, some parents just buy them a game so they don't have to deal with them as a parent, put them back in the room, and they come with that. And I think we have to continue to be that parent. Because if, like I said, you really love children, you're gonna be a parent, a counselor, you're gonna buy some food, you're gonna buy some food, you're gonna buy some, you're gonna bring some shoes, some pants, you're gonna be doing all type of things, which the school probably would say, and they'll say, well, that's probably grooming. But if you coming from the heart doing the right way, God is going to protect you.
Bless you.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer. I've done so many things and little things like these little bracelets I got on now. I don't rock this. These kids made these things, but when they see me wearing them, I've built equity with them.
Mm-hmm.
I can say certain things to them, and a lot of times teachers can't even relate. I'm gonna go on, but real quick, when I was a dean at Dunbar, the science teacher kept saying the girl kept coming in late every day. Then she come in late. Then she go to sleep. And she come and said, "The girl, she don't keep in my class." The girl, she told me she was 18. She said, "Dean Jones, I get off of work at 4 in the morning." I said, "Huh?" I said, 4 in the morning. He said, "Yeah, I work at the factory." She was a stripper. She was a stripper. So I said, okay. So I'm like, all right, okay. So I told the teacher, I said, listen here. If give her work, she's on track to graduate this year. She's coming in late. I told her she had to watch her little sister, whatever. But and I'm like, I'm like, man, this she would say, Dean Jones, have you ever been to the factory? No, we not having no factory conversation with me and me. Stop.
Jesus.
Stop. No. We ain't talking about the fact. We talking about this work. I'm gonna look up for, but I you know kids. But you know when you have that rapport, kids are gonna tell you
everything. Yeah.
that you really. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you, me and Miss Haley work together, and Lord have mercy. When I tell Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, the stuff that was going on. But see, our kids had so much things. I don't remember Haley. One time, right there by the school, this man was killed. He was still in the car. They had the yellow tape, and our kids just walking by.
Right by.
Yeah, like because it was so much. So, but then we had to nurture these babies. So, okay, so like I get along with it and get emotional. But hold on, let me take these glasses off so I can see what I'm saying. Listen, you ladies are absolutely awesome. And I'm saying I don't want you to take it lightly that I selected you all. Because before, I don't know anything about your evaluations, your reach evaluation. I don't know anything, your scores. I don't know anything. I don't have to know. I look at your heart and your heart for children. So when I know you have a heart for children, you're gonna do the right thing. Like Vicky, you're right. Vicky was working the nurse as a little girl. She always had a hip on her baby. The baby was almost bigger than her. She holding she holding the baby. And see, and I'm gonna tell you something. Miss Haley's being so professional. Miss Haley, listen, Vicky, y'all can rock together.
Yay.
She thinks like you think. I've seen Haley check kids, and then she brought kids to my office. She said, and you're lucky I can't suspend you. Said, Mr. Jones, this is what he so did. I said, I got you. Until they called me down, said I had too many suspensions, but whatever. No, if you tase somebody, you're going home. Stop. But
absolutely.
Okay. So hold on that. And Miss Torado, I haven't known Miss Torado haven't been long, but we have gotten as close in terms. I've seen more so just your interaction with students and how the students relate to you, and they love being around you. And I respect that so much. Ain't she crazy? Mr.
Right. We love it.
Mr. Robert, she be on one. But and you guys, like I said, you are awesome. And I don't mean guys like y'all know what's up. And just for you people know, why do you block our kids' faces? Because we're supposed to.
Oh yeah, we don't got consent.
Yeah, and it's like this now. Have I broken down certain things, but hey, whatever. Sue me. I see you in court. But look, but for the most part, I want you all to enjoy the rest of y'all summer. But those who starting back working in summer school, it's not full day. It was like 8 to 12, 8 to 1, what? Or is it full day?
No.
Oh, okay.
9 to 1 for us. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
Blessings to y'all.
And listen, Vicky, I hear you saying, I think you would do awesome in junior high, middle school. You absolutely would. I know.
Come on, join us.
You would do absolutely awesome. You absolutely would. Just keep that in mind. And ladies, I thank you all for definitely coming on, because you didn't have to do it. I don't take it lightly, because you could have said, no, I'm busy. It's the evening, I want to pick it. But it's still early enough for y'all still do your thing too. So much love to y'all. So I always leave with this here. If there are any teachers, people who are about to be teachers, or people who've been teaching for a little while and are starting to get discouraged, thinking about leaving the profession, what would you say to those individuals? Give me about a minute each, or less.
Okay, I can go first. I'll be honest. After this year, I was thinking about leaving and going into something else. Because of the behaviors. I had 20 kids of my own. It's too much. But I feel like as long as you really have a good team, or you have a passion for kids and you see an avenue and a bright way in there, keep going with it. And then don't let anybody talk down on you. Keep up your work, know what you're doing, your results will show. Like as I'm learning my data, since we're talking about it, keeps getting better. Like you'll find out, and they love to say like you don't know anything from like year 1 through 5. You don't know nothing, but it's like you do know some stuff. So just keep learning, just keep growing, keep adjusting to your kids, keep adjusting to yourself, and take care of yourself. Do not let school take over your life. Set boundaries. Set boundaries with parents too. Turn that dojo off. Don't respond. Make sure, like at certain times, you can't tell them 24 to 48 hours. Give them that time. Like, just try to make sure that you're putting yourself first too. But yeah, just care, keep growing, keep finding different avenues, and find your people. Like, even if it's not in your school, find people that'll support you. I'm open. Y'all can have my socials. I don't know if I put it, but just like people that'll be in your corner and be in your circle. Because one reason for me staying, one is financial. I just did some big things for myself, but it was also like, okay, towards the end of the year, it was just like, all right, I am really making the impact that I set out to do. So it's like, I'm still called to do this part. I didn't have anything in my mind to like switch to yet. So it's just like, where am I going and what am I doing? So it's just like, stay where you're at and figure out those things. And even if you don't necessarily stay in the classroom, you can find other ways into like staying in education. Because I want to go back to get my doctorate in curriculum and instruction. So it's like, get your years in and then find your way, because it'll be worth it. Stressful, but worth it.
I would say if you are teaching just for a paycheck, then it's not for you.
Woo!
It must first be a passion that you have for children. And understanding that the impact that you provide to them will be everlasting. That should be like your goal. That should be your why you're still working, why you're teaching. To know that you want to be impactful to whatever student you come in contact with. Like Vicky said, self-care is number one. I always tell people, and they think I'm crazy, don't take work home with you. You do work between these hours and these hours, and after these hours, it's all about you. If not, you are going to drive yourself crazy. You are going to be stressful, and you're going to hate going to work every day. So leave work where it's at. Don't take it home, and you'll make it.
It'll get done.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think, like you both just said, if you don't have a passion for kids, just get out. But if you do, maybe you just need a different environment, but just keep teaching to the babies. And then for sure, I always feel like there's always that one older stickler that's just always going to like kind of doubt you. And I think just kind of find your way and make your own way. And then just think when you're older, you want to be like that teacher, like, oh, she's cool or he's cool. Like they really helped me. They weren't judging. You want to be like that example. So that's another bit, like stay in it because you want to be like that mentor for somebody.
Yeah. So Veteran teachers, don't be hating on these young teachers. So don't be doing that.
That part.
And listen, and I'm saying I've actually seen it, and I'm not a male chauvinist, but it's always women. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I got more than a small sample size. I just completed year 28.
Okay.
So
look, I'm 26, so you've been at it.
Yeah. So I've seen it, but yes, like I said, there is value in seasoned teachers, and there's value in novice teachers. We all can learn from each other. I learn from young teachers all the time, certain things. So, ladies, I salute y'all. Y'all are absolutely awesome. Continue doing what you're doing. And thank you, Lord. We have Miss Pope, Miss Haley, and Miss Dorado, 3 awesome women who are doing great things and will continue. Thank you for joining me, ladies.
And
Thank
come
you.
join us, Christine. You could be with us too, period, girl.
Okay, I like the babies.
Nah, like kicking it. You know, it ain't got to be the teaching stuff. But for
Oh,
sure.
okay, I guess.
Oh, listen.
Sign me up.
Yes, Mr. Rado kicks it. Miss Haley kicks it. So yes. So I've heard. I don't kick it. So,
Teachers outside.
Come on.
I know that. That's what I'm talking about. See, I know right now I'm gonna have y'all on for nothing. It ain't gonna be education though. It's gonna be something else. Yeah. Y'all are crazy. Much love to y'all. Much love. Thank you for joining.
Love you
Thank
too.
you all.
Thanks for
Nice
having
meeting
us.
you all. Bye.
Yes.
How you get up out of here?
Yes. Awesome show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There was some awesome teachers. Awesome teachers. So yeah, but make sure you check me out. Go to YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, and all those things. Follow me on all the social platforms. Definitely check me out on IG. Check me out on IG. Definitely check me out on TikTok. Yeah, this is an awesome show. And teachers are awesome. You cannot think of one profession that they didn't have a teacher. They didn't have a teacher. But much love to y'all. And like I always say, I will see y'all, I guess, probably when I see y'all. Holla.
Many things going on in the world today. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say. But what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yay takes the thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight the stain and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that massive